Hello, shining ones. Megas here on a beautiful day in Asha. Oh, I am excited about this one. You're going to enjoy this one. We're going to answer some questions like, where do we come from? Why are we here, right? This is something we all in the back of our mind at one time or another have wondered about. What does Zoroastrianism say about that? We're going to talk about that. I've got a new song for you. It's called Asha Live. It's about Asha living in me and myself living in that Asha, in that truth, in that reality, in that heaven on earth. Right? It's beautiful. So I'm going to share that song with you, then we're going to come back and we're going to answer some of these questions. I love you. Enjoy this one.
Asha's woven into every seam. Together we will dance through life, hand in hand we'll roam. In the light of your love, I found my home. Asha live, Asha live in me. And I will live in you. Asha live, Asha live in me. And I will live in you.
Oh, so beautiful. I love what we're creating here. It's just a safe place. It's a light that darkness cannot enter. It's a love so pure that the fears and the hates and the distress and dis-ease, it cannot enter this space. We're creating this atmosphere of Asha. And as Asha lives, and it lives in me, and we hold that frequency and that truth, we're creating it, and therefore we're living in it. You know, I love it. The destination we want to get to, right, is also the path. And the path is the destination because it's all about energy. It's all about frequency. It's all about resonance. And so when you want to get into that safe place of love and light, right, the path is to be it. You become the love and light, and you're instantly taken into the love and light because it's about resonance. And in that love and light, there's no hate and fear and greed. It's so beautiful. So I promised you some pretty big things at the beginning of this. Where do we come from? Well, what do we teach about that very first page of Asha? It says, realize you are from good spirit, made of good spirit, and shall return to good spirit. When you understand this, your vibration, your frequency rises, and you become a mighty spiritual force creating in the plastic medium of energy, where you're no longer a victim. You're not just surviving, but you're thriving. You're a powerful creator. You've realized, you've remembered what you are, where you come from, right? And now you're holding that and you're creating that. And that is why you are here. Where do you come from? You come from that light. You come from that light, that source, that pure love, that pure spirit. And in that place, right, there's no hate, there's no enemy, there's no wars. It's just good. Magus, why in the world would we come to this earth? You chose it. In our holy text, it says that we stood outside of time and space, and we had Vohu Menu, the God mind, right? Because we are God's stuff. We're one with God. We come from God. We're made of God. And we stood outside of time and space and the earth and matter and form, and we saw with Vohu Menu. And if you don't know what Vohu Menu is, it's that God mind. It's that intelligence that knows and sees all. And so we're outside of time and space. We're looking at our whole life from beginning to end. And we saw we would make a difference. We would come with our light to this earth, and we'd bring light and truth and love. And we'd remember, again, we'd realize who we are, and we'd wake up to it, and we would create it in this earth, right, to help end suffering. And matter of fact, flip over to Asha 3 real quick. We're going to look at Asha 3, 2, and probably 10. Are you guys loving this book? In yesterday's video, we talked about, we sold a lot of books last month, and people are leaving reviews. It was just so beautiful. Thank you so much. If you haven't left a review yet, please go do it. Oh, okay, so let's start with Asha 3. Asha 3 says, I have Vohu Menu. Right? Here in the West, we call it the Christ mind, where you have that realization again that you and God are one. There's no separation from you and God. And it says, my only job, and I love this, I'm a simple person. I have one job to do, why I came here, right? Again, why did we come here? We want to move that needle just a little more towards love, away from hate, right, towards love, away from negativity, towards positivity. We saw our life would do that. We would make a difference. It says, my only job is to align with and hold continuously in mind the attributes of God good: love, life, peace, joy, power, freedom. And get this is important, to be those attributes. You have to be it. Remember what we're saying, where you want to get to, you have to be it. The destination is the path. The path is the destination. It's resonance, it's energy, it's frequency. We got to be God good, right? It says my mind is God, right? That Vohu Menu, that Christ mind, where what I truly am. I'm not my past failures, mistakes, sins, errors. We knew, again, when we stood outside time, space with Vohu Menu, we saw we were going to mess up. Right? We're going to come into the mixed world. There's going to be evil, even in our very genes and DNA passed from parents and grandparents. We saw it, right? We could never be separated from God. Don't ever fall for that fear tactic. You wouldn't have come. God wouldn't have sent you, right? You cannot be separated from God. You came here on a mission, and the Spirit is proud of you, and you are it. And it's a family of light. What we call God, it's not a guy in the sky. It's this family of light. It's what you are. It's what pure spirit is. It's what your brothers and sisters and magi that were, are, and shall be are. We're God's stuff. We're that pure light. All of us, this one beautiful thing that we call God. It says, my mind is God. Right? This is what all the masters wanted you to see, right? The Messiah, the Christ, that you and God are one, right? You are the love, you are the peace, you are the joy. It says, but my thoughts are not always God, right? Again, we knew we're going to be born into this body, in our genes and DNA and memories of past. There's going to be thoughts that aren't good. Right? In our religion, God and the highest principle of good are the same thing. Not one of those gods, again, that came after our religion, that are mixed, that love and hate, peace and war, kill men, women, and children. No, that's not the God we're talking about. We're talking about the highest principle of good is God. And so sometimes our thoughts are not always there because of what we were born into here. We knew what we're getting into. You might question your choice, but you saw it and chose to come, and I'm proud of you for doing it. And everything is going to be okay, again, or you wouldn't have come. It says, so what do we do about this? Our prayer, right? Is may my thoughts align with mind. Again, it's that brain mind just attuning. We want to go inside to that divine spark, find that frequency, and then align our thinking with that, right? And you start by an understanding. For me, it's all about Asha, the very spirit of God. What's the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind? Perfection, as good as you can dream. That's my reason to believe. That's where my faith comes from. It's not begging a deity in the sky. It's not hoping. It's not, wouldn't that be nice? I know that Asha is the only thing that could come from a perfect creator's perfect mind is perfection and love and peace and joy and freedom. And so I find that inside and I hold that. I be that light that darkness flees from. I be that pure love that hate, fear, greed, war, low frequencies can't live in my atmosphere. I create my own atmosphere, my own world, my own Asha right here, and then into my home, into my family, into my animals, into my land, into my neighborhood, and as we all come together into this world where the whole world sees Asha, sees truth, sees what's real. Flip back to Asha 2. Asha 2 says to know only good. When this was written, to know was, again, two to become one, right? Like a man would know his wife. That means they're being intimate. It's sex, the two into one form, right? Know only good, where you and God are one form, intimate. There's no separation. Perceive and understand only the good. Again, this is where they trip you up with these world religions that they call God and God's books, but they're not the highest principle of good. So you're taking in the wrong spirit, the wrong God, the wrong energy, the wrong frequency. You're creating the wrong world, but then you're always crying out for help and salvation, right? That you see this in gods and governments. They create a problem, so they are the only ones that can offer you a solution. My friends, and so now because you've taken in the wrong God that they gave you, told you was a good God, you should have seen it when they told you stone your children when they're disrespectful, go and kill men, women, and children, bring back the spoils, but you can have sex slaves, stories of sacrificing their own children, and things that in your heart you knew were wrong, but because you trusted your parents and grandparents and preachers and pastors and government leaders, and you were just a kid, and how dare you question the scholars and your leaders and elders, and pretty soon you just go along, but you find yourself always in need, always needing help. But if you perceive and understand only the good and let your experience and practice be the same by being aware at all times of your high standing, always remembering the covenant written on your mind that you might not forget you are a child of the King, taking us right back to page 1. You are from God. You are made of God. You are God's stuff. And when you have that realization, you are a mighty spiritual force and you be the love, you be the freedom, you be the power, you be the God good, my friends, and you will see it. Flip over to Asha 10 real quick. Who's still with me? Please go to the comments, let me know. Asha 10 is beautiful. It says, I will ask myself a question. We all must ask ourselves this question. And I'm not concerned with how I want others to perceive me, right? I'm not trying to look spiritual or holy or anything for anybody else. This is for me. Asking myself a question. It says, what energy am I really? I talk a good game about being loving and kind, but am I behind closed doors? I try to be, guys. Matter of fact, you probably saw it halfway through this video. It cut off and I had to restart it because there was a spider crawling across my floor and I didn't want to smash it with a shoe, so I had to take it, stop my video and put it in a cup and take it outside. And I'm always trying to be the highest love that I can be whenever I can be it, my friends. And there's no one to watch me, no one to put on a show for, but I'm doing a real energy check. Do I really love people? Do I really love God good? What am I really? What are my motivations? Are they selfish? Do I just want likes and views? Am I trying to get something? What is really going on in here? We got to ask ourselves some hard questions. My friends, what energy am I really? Am I love or hate? Do I bring peace or discord? When I come home, does my family get excited? Daddy's home, or are they all, oh shit, I'll just go to my room? Do I hold joy or trouble for those around me? Right? An honest look. Am I fearful and doubting, or do I have a reason to believe, a reason to have faith? Looking at these real questions. You don't have to put on a show for anybody. All right, I want to end here. Asha 13, it's my favorite. Great way to end. Good is good, bad is bad. The original word, that original word, the perfect creator's perfect idea that we call Asha, the only thing that could come from his perfect mind, the original word, that frequency that made the form and matter of the world that's supposed to be, that you're supposed to see, that is reality, that is truth. The rest is lie and illusion. The original word is all good comes from the creator, and no evil comes from him. From this original word, the spiritual world is made straight and the material world brought into order. Taking us back again, why are we here? We're here to hold that frequency, that original word, and turn it into form and matter. I'm not done, guys. Can we go on a little bit more? I just thought of Asha 14 that goes along perfect with our song we just shared, Asha Live, right? Asha live in me and I live in Asha. Asha 14 says, I live in God. God is good. God is omnipresent. That means my good is omnipresent. My God is here now. My good is here now. My friends, it's all available now. Hold that Asha, hold that highest principle of good, hold that love, hold that light, be it, hold the frequency of it, and live in it. It lives in you, and you live in it. Turn over to Asha 15. It says, tell the truth. Giving true witness, a man will be saved. We speak this truth, not just with our lips, but with our frequency, with our life. Only think and speak truth to yourself and it will form. This isn't about trying to put on a show for anyone else. We're speaking it to ourselves by holding that frequency of love that runs out the hate, fear, and the greed. We hold that light. We hold that God good. And it shall form. Think God's highest idea of truth, Asha, and live. Keep the power of truth in mind. Make it your model. Then trust God and let it be. And you'll see it already is. That's what was real all along. Don't worry or strive to make something happen. You can't force it. Just attune yourself. Align with it. We're going to end Asha 16 right here. Everyone who is of the truth hears the truth. When man sins, thinks, speaks, or acts in error, it's against his nature, for he comes from the good spirit and shall return to the good spirit. God put the good mind, Vohu Menu, that divine spark in all of his creatures, so it has a guide at all times. It's how the seed knows how to climb out of the ground and become a plant, how the planets stay their course, and how man will find his way home to Asha, truth, and living in truth. It's a life without enemies, right? Just like where we came from, where that we have no enemies when we are in that light. We're bringing that light to earth, my friends, so there are no enemies. My friends, we're holding that love and that life and that good. Living in truth is a life without enemies. For evil, the lie and illusion is rendered nothing, because when the truth comes, the lie loses all of its power and it just goes away. It says, so go, Ashavan, truth knower, in truth, and enjoy this wonderful life, knowing you are God's thought, living in God's idea, perfection. Asha, say it with me, Magi. Asha is, Asha, live in me, and I live in Asha. Asha is, I love you.
Asha lives.